This is the 66 Fit massage stick. This is an absolutely perfect product for taking out on your travels with you. You can see due to the small nature of it, it's nice and compact. It's only 45 centimetres in length. So you can keep it stored in your travel bag. If you're going away on flights, you can obviously put it in your hand luggage. Also, really handy to keep in your gym bag, so when you're going to the gym, if they don't have any foam rollers available, you can just take it in there, and when you're doing your stretching sessions after your workout, get your stick out and you can massage those muscles. The idea of the stick is, it's a crude analogy really, but it's going to work like a rolling pin on your muscles. You've got two handles, one at either end, and then you've got four rollers in the middle which move independently to one another, and all you're going to do is take your muscle, you want to make sure it's nice and relaxed, and you're going to use the stick to basically roll out that muscle fibre. When we're training, it obviously gets tight and a bit knotty. We want to make sure that we're just working across the full length of the muscle just to try and even out, and well, not even out, but roll out those knots. When you are doing it, I'm doing it sitting on a chair, you can do it sitting on a floor, but it's a bit more awkward because you have to sort of lean forwards too much. So perch on the edge of a chair. Make sure when you are doing it that you've got your muscle nice and relaxed. You don't want it contracted, so as you're rolling against your muscle and it's too firm. Keep it nice and floppy and relaxed. And obviously I'm going to be doing my quads here. So roll from top to bottom or bottom to top, whichever way you look at it. Some people like to work from outside to in or inside to out. You'll find something that works for you, but make sure you're working across the whole of the muscle. With your quads, you want to be pushing down as you roll forwards and backwards, and this is why I say it's a bit like a rolling pin, because it's the same action really as you would use a rolling pin for. So you can see I'm working from the outside to the in, and then I work back from inside to out, going across the full area of the muscle. You can see that as I'm doing this, these rollers in the middle are moving independently and just really rolling over the muscle to roll out some of those knots, which I've got quite a few in my legs. Now, the benefit of the stick in comparison to something, let's say like a foam roller, is obviously there's a much smaller surface area. So as a result of that, it allows us to get into smaller areas. Often you may find that you tend to struggle with things like your Achilles tendon and up on your hip flexors, because you've got that large surface area of a foam roller and quite a small area to get it in. So something like a stick, for example, gets in there perfectly. Our hip flexors tend to get pretty tight, you know, doing running and squatting and bits and pieces like that, sitting down on a day-to-day basis at the desk, sitting in your car. Hip flexors get really tight, and it's really useful to be able to just iron them out a little bit, if you will. And this is where the stick comes in handy. So you can see, just rolling out across the front of my hip here, the stick's absolutely ideal. Now, you move on towards your hamstrings. When you're using your hamstrings, you need to do the reverse of what you'd be doing on your quads. So you're going to be pulling up as you roll forwards and backwards this time. Again, choose to work from either outside here, across the full area of the muscle to the inside. Making sure that you keep it nice and even, so whatever you do on the right leg, clearly you need to be doing on the left leg. If you find a little area that's particularly sore and is proving fairly problematic, like you would do with a foam roller, so I've got one there, just bring the range of motion that you're doing down to a smaller, more concentrated area. You can bring your hands in a little bit closer to allow you to apply a bit more pressure. Other things that you can use it for, your calves come down here. Now obviously, like I said before, make sure that it's nice and floppy. You don't want it so as it's contracted and you're pushing against hard muscle. So relax your calf and roll again inside to out or out to in, whatever works for you. And you can get down in towards your Achilles tendon. On the front, we've also got tibialis anterior, so we can do all of our legs pretty much. Going to obviously struggle using this on our glutes. You can use it for other things as well. So I've got forearms, so my forearms tend to get pretty tight. One hand and then come down towards one roller towards this end, so as you can apply a bit more pressure on it, just roll up and down. So if I relax my hand here as I'm going up and down, you can see my fingers pulling tight as I'm going forwards and backwards. Then clearly you'd switch and do the other side. Another area that tends to cause us quite a bit of grief throughout the week is around our neck and shoulders. People tend to do a lot of sitting down, driving, sitting at computers, so these get pretty tight. So we can come up towards our neck here, really roll in on one side. Don't go too mad, because obviously there's a lot going on around our neck area. And then don't go across the bone at the back, because that would be pretty uncomfortable. Switch sides, and you can do in here. Now, also, if you have got a training partner or somebody at home that can help you out, it's really useful for other things like your lats as well. So if you need to lay down on your side and you can just get somebody to iron out your lats in there, switch sides and then repeat on the other side, it's really, really useful for those. This is an absolutely fantastic product. Due to the nature of it being so small and compact, there's no excuse for you to not be able to take it with you to the gym or on your holidays, and therefore you can really give those muscles the attention they deserve.